This is Sitima Fowler, founder of Capstone IT and co-founder of TreasureCoastTop100.com. Today we're so excited. We're here with Carol Houwaart-Diez. Did I say your name correctly?
You did.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Of United Way, she's the CEO and president of United Way of Martin County, and we are in for a treat because Carol's amazing energy, her leadership skills are driving this forward. And if you think in business it's tough to get sales, it's tough to achieve success, wait till you hear from this lady how she's going about it. So we're going to learn a lot. So thank you, Carol. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Carol, let's start talking about fundraising. I mean, obviously, big part of United Way is fundraising, and do people, when they see you, do they like shut their doors?
Oh,
or
they
how,
run.
What?
They run. Are you kidding? I tell people I beg for money
That's
for
right.
a living.
So when you beg for money, what are the, let's say the top 2 success things that are working for you?
So I would say this. I would say that for me, the best story is building the relationship with our customers, with our donors. And once you build that relationship, it's like anything. Then they're more open to listening to the stories that you have to tell about the community, about the work that you're trying to accomplish. But if I just walk in and say, hey, it's the thing you're supposed to do, it's not a good thing.
Right.
Finding out what interests our donors, what interests the company, what they are interested in investing in, why it's important to be a part of a bigger picture than a single entity. I think just starting that way and learning more about them and their interests, and then seeing how United Way fits into their plan is a good thing.
So that's time consuming, right?
It is, and it's not always a win, because sometimes it takes multiple attempts to approach a company, approach a CEO of another company, or approach anyone and say, hey, talk to me about partnering with us, and because they do know, ultimately I do want their dollars. I'm not gonna lie, I do want their dollars, but it's a win-win for the community, for the business, and for United Way.
So how are you, do you have a list of companies, people that you want to build these relationships with, and then you're just calling on them? Can you give us some tactical advice?
So I am a firm believer, I don't do cold calls. I usually, for me, I send a letter just of introduction.
Yep.
And then I'll do a follow-up phone call.
Okay.
And maybe the first time, if they don't respond, I'll give it a little bit of time. And then I'll try to meet them at a chamber function. I'll try to meet them outside the arena. Or I'll have somebody that knows them introduce us. And then kind of talk to them a little bit about, hey, it would be great to meet with you for coffee and see how we can work together. And then just kind of slowly work into it. And we just had a meeting this morning. We talked about how maybe something the first year you try it doesn't work, but maybe by year 2, when you attempt to reach out to them again, it'll work, or they'll at least be a little bit more open to meeting with you one-on-one and learning more about what each other does in the community.
So it's very similar. Capstone, we're a private company, but for us, cold calling is not my thing either. So usually we are sending out the letter and then following up with a call, and that seems to work for us. But if we went back and looked at our database, sometimes somebody will call us because they need IT support, and we'll look in our database, we contacted them 3 years ago. So it when it's the right time for that person, they feel it. But
right.
But you got to be constantly in front of them, so they remember you too.
Right. Well, and you have to be a part of it. So one of the things when I moved here, I just made the determination that I was going to be at as many functions as I could be, never asking for anything, but just kind of being out there, letting people know who I am, trying to demonstrate my passion and commitment for making the community that I live in a better place. And so I think all of those things combined, it helps, but it's not always successful.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work putting yourself out there, because it's so easy to say, okay, I'm exhausted today, I can't do one more networking event. But the more you put yourself out there, I think it does work.
Right. And one of the things I know, I get really frustrated when people don't call me back. And so I make it's like a policy that I have. I call people back, or I respond to emails. It's very important to me. Even if I'm not interested, I just say, we're not interested right now, but I'll keep you in mind for the future. But not responding drives me crazy.
So it's like sales karma.
Right, it is.
If you're doing it, if you're being nice to other salespeople, then people are going to take your call. As
Right.
It all works that way. So let's move on to like your team. You know, Carol alone can't do all the outreach and, you know, get the goals of United Way. So your employees, they have to be just as motivated. They have to be just as, how do you train them to see the vision? How do you motivate them? Or I mean, sometimes people say, well, you shouldn't really have to motivate them. They should come to you motivated. So talk about the hiring and delegating. How does all that work for you?
So one of the things, I think you have to lead by example, so showing your employees that that you care about them, you care about the community, that you're invested in the community, especially in our line of work, educating them about the programs and services that we invest in, why the importance of United Way. So when I came here, it's been 2 years now. The team I had then, a lot of the same players are here, but it's a different team. They are now a team working together, understanding that we all have the same common goal of making this organization the best organization in the community. It's my program, this program, it's all of the programs together working towards that end goal. And one of the things that we did is we've done where we've gone and done Meals on Wheels as a volunteer project so that we see what we're investing in. We've done staff retreats, we've done some fun things together. So it's kind of like building that family unit, but also maintaining that we're all in it together to make this community better. So it's kind of leading by example, but also pulling everyone along with you and being positive about it. And sometimes it's hard to be that. But
yeah, so let's talk about that positiveness. So, there's your employees, but then, there's us who may write a check to the United Way and so that, you can help all these different entities. But you are faced with helping so many different organizations. You see firsthand the need that's out there in this community, and everybody's fighting for funds and resources so they can serve their clients. So you're in this phase of seeing all these difficult situations. How do you stay energized? How do you stay motivated to keep doing this day in and day out?
I love helping people. And so I've been doing this now for 31 years. And I think it's because I've gotten to see people's lives change. I've seen them when they started with a program and then when they've ended. Because I don't think anyone grows up thinking, I want to be less fortunate and I don't want a good job, or I want to get addicted to drugs, or I want to be a teenage mom, or I want my significant other to be abusive. Nobody grows up wanting those things, but life happens. And I think watching some people change and seeing their lives just turn around, it's pretty motivating. And even in Martin County, I've only been here 2 years, but I've already seen some really cool things happen. Or, when we did the Meals on Wheels this summer, watching the people's faces when we came to their door with their hot meal and how excited they were just to have someone talk to them and spend 2 minutes talking to them, asking them how their day was. It could be the only human contact they had all day. And, their doors are open, they're waiting for you. There's one woman that we met this summer that she'd broken her hip, and she kept telling me, bring me some extra sweets. I'm trying to gain weight back because, she broke her hip. And I kept trying to tell her, I'll give you some of mine. I'm that generous. I'll give you some of my weight. But she wouldn't do that. She's like, oh, it doesn't work that way. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'll give you some. But her face, when I told her I'm coming the following week, I said, when's the last time you had homemade cookies? And she's like, I haven't. So I said, I'm going to bring you some next week. And I did. And her face just lit up when she saw, I just brought her homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Something as simple as somebody paying some attention and bringing her cookies.
Yes, and she was so excited. And she kept going, are you coming back next week? And I'm like, no, we're done doing it now. Because what we did, the interesting thing about this community is in the summer, a lot of the snowbirds are back up where they live normally, and which are a lot of the volunteers that work. And so in the summer, Meals on Wheels has a really hard time getting people to deliver meals. So our team took on Mondays a route real close to our office. And I said to our team, 2 people got to go every Monday. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to pay you to do that because I want you to see what our clients are, who we're serving, what their needs are in the program, and how instrumental it is in the community to help others. And they all were so excited to be a part of that.
So you're basically saying when you're faced seeing this kind of adversity, like right in front of you, the way you're staying motivated and helping your team is, first of all, there's a bigger picture. Are we making a difference?
Right.
But then you're saying there's these small touches where you're bringing firsthand some cookies and seeing her face light up. Like, you need that too.
Oh, absolutely. Or, you know, if I'm having a really bad day, I love to go to the like the child care centers like Gertrude Walden and see the kids who are so just so thirsty for knowledge and wanting to learn. And you know, they're 3, 4, and 5 years old, and they're so excited, and they just love seeing other people and showing them us what they are learning. And that motivates me, because it's just so important that children have a better opportunity. So things like that will keep you motivated all day long. And just watching the community respond to when we try to educate them about the needs in the community, and then they support us. It's a very uplifting and positive experience.
I bet. So that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
From, you know, just that analogy to the business world, I mean, I'll give you guys an example. Like, we have a help desk where, you know, all these my engineers are on the help desk are doing is fielding, you know, calls that are coming in, and usually it's not because somebody just won the lottery, it's because they're having problems, right? So for the help desk people who are not necessarily going out and meeting with the clients on a daily basis, because there's field engineers who do that, we sometimes have them do that just to see the end client and see like how their work is impacting the end client, just to keep that reality checked. And that's I totally understand that. So thank you. I think what you're doing and the leadership that you're bringing to Martin County is amazing. So thank you for your insights today. Do you have any last words of advice for other entrepreneurs out there?
Yeah, make sure that whatever you're doing, you have a passion for it, that you really, really like what you're doing and you love the work, because it comes through in everything that you do. Because if you don't, people can tell. And so anytime I meet people, they'll always say, how are you still excited about raising money for a community? I'm like, because I know what the end result is. I know that investing in my organization, what it does in a community, but it's the same for a business. If you aren't excited about the work you do, it'll come through.
Yeah,
so
it's too hard otherwise.
Yeah, it is, and life's too short. So being passionate about what you do, it's what I tell my kids. Whatever, you know, they're at the point where they're almost ready to, my oldest is going to go to college next year, and I keep telling her, you better pick something that you really, really want to do, because you're going to do it for a long time.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much for
your time.
Thank you
for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for watching. If you want to watch more videos, or if you want to apply to get interviewed, go to www.treasurecoasttop100.com, and I hope to meet you someday soon.